Hey gang, AV here, and welcome to my Captain America collection part 3? Or is it part 4? Honestly, I don't remember. First of all, it's been a while since I made a new video. Figured I'd give you guys a heads up. I was complaining about a cold in my last couple of videos, and I was kind of having fun with it. I was making it out to be kind of bad. It turns out I wasn't too far off. Basically, what had started off as a head cold turned into asthmatic bronchitis. Now, I don't have asthma. As the doctor explained to me, it became asthmatic bronchitis because I have been a smoker of a pack a day for the past 20 years. And when I developed bronchitis, it became asthmatic, as in I was not only coughing my lungs out, but I could no longer breathe as well. And it sucked. And you can imagine that coughing and having a lack of oxygen in my lungs to begin with pretty much meant that I couldn't make any videos for you. And I apologize for the hiatus, but it really couldn't have been helped. And I'm also in the process of quitting smoking because of this diagnosis, which I'm actually doing quite well with, but if I try to do it cold turkey, I know myself well enough to know that I will be a moody son of a bitch. And that is not the type of personality that translates very well in video making. So I appreciate the fact that you guys will be patient with me if my videos are a little bit sporadic, because you have to appreciate the fact that I cannot make a video if I am in a bad mood. Thankfully, though, tonight I'm in a good mood, due in no small part to the 4 pints of beer I recently had. So, anyway, here we have my Captain America collection. The last video I ended with issue number 233, and here we have issue number 235. Now, this is going to be a long video because I want to finish off the long box so I can put the long box away. So please bear with me. This is going to be a long one. But the good news is, the vast majority of the books that we're going to be looking at will be the ones that I bought off the rack. I didn't actually hunt these down. Most of these I bought as they were coming out. So hopefully, with any luck, I will have a lot more to say about them. Even though I read them as I bought them. With the ones you buy off the rack, you kind of sometimes you have better stories to go along with them, and more feeling involved with actually owning those particular books, more of a sentimental value. So anyway, hopefully this will be a lot more enjoyable for you guys than the previous episodes. Anyway, here we have issue number 235 with Daredevil, and also, while I was in my hiatus, I took the liberty of rebagging all of these in Mylar, so hopefully the glare is no longer an issue. Here's issue number 236. Statue of Liberty, Dr. Faustus. $237. Cap and his Harley. $238. Beware the Hawk Riders. $239. What lurks within the crypt? Its Thing. $240. Carnage in Coney Island. $241. Classic Frank Miller cover with the Punisher. And Now Adonis, issue number 243. .244, The Monster Berserk. .245, The Calypso Connection. .246, Sins of the Fathers. .247, Baron Strucker Strikes. With the classic shield flying car. Dum Dum Dugan. .248, Caught in the Clutches of Dragon Man. .249, with Machine Smith. .250, Captain America for President. Somewhat relevant this week. .251, The Mercenary of the Madman. And the Madman, I'm sorry. Cat battles Batroc and Mr. Hyde. Batroc. I always say his name wrong. Tomb of Blood. This is the first appearance of Baron Blood. By the way, one of my most favorite Cat villains. But unfortunately, 254 was the death of Baron Blood. Hopefully we see him again very shortly. I kind of had hopes that Brubaker would bring him back, and he did do a story about him, but he didn't really show up in it. And now that Brubaker's off the book, I kind of lost hope in that happening. But anyhow, that is Union Jack, another one of my favorite supporting characters from the Cap line. .255, .257, .258, Blasted by Blockbuster. .259, Cap vs. Doc Ock. .260, Cap Behind Bars. .261, Cap with Nomad. .262, Cap with the Ameridroid. .263, Ameridroid again, Red Skull. .264, Cap with the classic X-Men. .265? I gotta get my new glasses. Yeah, .265. Nick Fury, Spider-Man. .266, Spider-Man again. .67, The Everyman. .268 with the Defenders. 269 with Team America. Short-lived group. And 270. Let me pause it, replenish the stack. As well as put on my reading glasses so I can read the small numbers and grab another beer. I love the weekend. 271. $273. Again, I apologize for the periodic gaps in my run. As I've said previously, my Avengers run is the one I concentrate mostly on. Whenever I have some disposable cash, that's the one I always try to fill in gaps with. Cap is the second title I also build up, but obviously the Avengers take precedence. So that's 273. 274. Baron Strucker. 275. One of my favorite covers from that era. Very cool. 276, another cool cover. $277, Prisoner of Zemo. $278. $279. I believe that's his girlfriend Bernie. $280. The Scarecrow. $281. Need a better copy of that. That's all beat up. $282. First appearance of the new Nomad. Jack Monroe, I believe his name is. And a reprint of 282. $284. $285. Porcupine. $286 with Deathlock. Underrated character, if you ask me. $287. Obvious Mike Zeck artwork. I love Mike Zeck. As far as I'm concerned, he is a very underrated artist. If you saw my contest I had recently, that Amazing Spider-Man, Web of Spider-Man, 34, I believe it was. That was a Mike Zeck cover. This is another one. $288. $289. The Assistant Editor's Month. Feel free to pause it and read all the text. I mean, I really miss the Assistant Editor's Month books. I mean, they were always fun. They don't really do that too often anymore. Oof, $290. Very, very bad copy. I mean, this one was obviously the victim of a coffee spill. I mean, this was awful. Oh. Not good. Not good. 1. $2.92. Black Crow. $2.93. $2.94. $2.95 with the Sisters of Sin. $2.96. Cap is old. He was aged appropriately. $2.97. Flashback to his to Bucky's demise. $2.98. And we'll pause it. Replenish the stack. Here's $2.99. 300. The Death of the Red Skull. Another copy of 300. I picked this one up at Wizard World this year. Very high grade copy. Plan on getting it graded. 301. And picked that one up at Wizard World 2 this year. Plan on getting that one graded as well. 301. 302. First appearance of Machete. 303. 304. 305 with Captain Britain. 306. 307. 308 with the Armadillo. 309. Should be uninterrupted now. My run should be uninterrupted. 310. Anaconda. 311. Except for maybe 2 or 3 issues in the late 400s, I believe I have everything up until this point to present day. So, we have 312 with the Flag Smasher. Nice graded book. Well, it hasn't been graded, but you know what I mean. Nice high grade book. I'm a little inebriated. Cut me some slack. 313. Modoc with Death Eater. 314 with Squadron Supreme. I always like the original Squadron Supreme. It's a limited series of 12 issues. If you guys haven't read it, because I know I have a bunch of people who are relatively new to comics, that was a very good limited series. If you guys have an opportunity, you should read that. And after you read that, you should probably read the J. Michael Straczynski Supreme Power 12 or 16 issue series. That was awesome. That was absolutely awesome. Anyway, 314. 315 with the Serpent Society. 316, Armadillo again. 317. First glimpse at Hawkeye with the shield. If you guys remember the after Captain America's death during the Fallen Sun miniseries, Hawkeye was one of the obvious choices to become the next Captain America because he was able to wield the shield. Well, we found out why here. 318, Blue Streak. 319, Key Issue. Scourge literally kills all the villains on this cover. If anybody has read the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, many of the obscure villains that you read in those books died in this issue. 320. $321. Another obvious Mike Zeck cover. 322. 323. 324. 325. Slug. Never liked the Slug. I thought he was lame. I'm just being honest. 326. I always liked this cover. I always thought this was cool. Whoops. Skipping ahead. Stupid Mylar. 327. First appearance of John Walker, the Super Patriot, who later became the U.S. agent. Or, I'm sorry, I'm skipping ahead. Who later became Captain America, and then the U.S. agent. Another Mike Zeck cover, by the way. 328. The first appearance of Demolition Man, who, if you've been reading Brubaker, has recently become the new Scourge. $329. And we're going to pause it. Plenish the stack again. Here's 330. $331 with Miss Marvel. $332 when Cap decides to quit again. You saw my previous video, he quit during the Nixon era. This one he quit during the Reagan era, I believe. But not because of the Reagan administration. He quit because of the Superhuman not the Registration Act. What was it? Oh, I'm brain farting. I'm sorry. Oh, it was wasn't the Registration Act. What the hell was it? Anyway, I'm not gonna linger. I'm gonna keep going. I'll update it in the comment section, I'm sure. Here's 333. Very cool cover. Trying to figure out who the new Captain America will be. 334. With John Walker and the character that will eventually become Battlestar. But there he's dressed as Bucky. 335. Cap takes on the Watchdog organization. 336. Very cool. 337. Cover swipe of Avengers number 4. Captain America, I'm sorry, Steve Rogers becomes the Captain. 338. 339. 340. That's Steve Rogers, the captain, with his new shield developed by Tony Stark. I believe he had to relinquish his original shield to the new Captain America. Speaking of Tony Stark, there's 340. Captain America fights Tony Stark. 342. With when Madam Hydra becomes the Viper. Or she might not become the Viper in this. But that was Madam Hydra. Now she's a Viper. Again, I apologize. I'm a little inebriated. 343. 344, where Steve Rogers actually fights Ronald Reagan. 345. 346. 347. 348. 349. 350, where the captain battles Captain America, or Steve Rogers fights John Walker, and the reintroduction of the Red Skull. This was the first appearance of the Red Skull, or the first full appearance, I should say, of the Red Skull in the Steve Rogers cloned body, produced by Arnim Zola. 351. Steve Rogers is now Captain America again. 352. 353. 354. John Walker, previous Captain America, becomes the U.S. agent, and Steve Rogers actually sells the design for his captain uniform to the U.S. government so that John Walker can wear it as the U.S. agent. 355. Pretty self-explanatory. 356. 'And I'm going to pause it. Replenish the stack one last time. This was the Bloodstone Hunt, part 1 of 6, issue number 357. Probably one of my favorite Captain America story arcs. This was awesome. I loved this when this was coming out. Loved it. And it's because of this story arc that cemented the current Baron Zemo as one of my all-time favorite villains. So if you guys have not read this story arc, I highly suggest you do so. As I said, it's a 357. It's part 1. 358. Part 2. 359. Part 3. 360, Part 4. 361, Part 5. 362, with Crossbones, Part 6. I know I just showed the first appearance of Crossbones, but I cannot remember which issue it was, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Again, I'm a little inebriated. I'll update it in the comment section, I'm sure. 362, Part 6. 363, Crossbones kidnaps Diamondback. And if you guys have been keeping up with your comic shop news or internet rumors or whatnot, Crossbones will be in the next Captain America movie, so he is pretty relevant. 364. 365. 366. 367. Acts of Vengeance. 368. 369. 370. This is pretty relevant because it's the first time he returns to the Skull House since issue number 300. Or 301, I should say. Sorry, beer break. 371. Cap takes a night off. 372. Cap actually becomes high thanks to a new type of drug. He infiltrates the drugs lab, the drug dealer's lab. So he's high for the next couple of issues. So that's 372. 373. 374. 375. Daredevil. 376. 377. 378. 379. 380. 381. 382. 383. Classic cover. 50th anniversary, of course, of Captain America. 384. Oh, a little postcard in the back of that. Pretty cool. 384. 385. Yep, and that's it. 386. That looks like it's going to be about it for this long box, gang. If you like this video, then check out my channel. If you like what you see there, then please subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. Probably have the next installment in a couple of months. I will be filming the more recent issues after a little while. Figure give them a little bit of time to ferment and become a little bit more relevant. But until then, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care.